Hey man, when it comes to these videos, I want y'all to know, man, I really be working, bruh. Like I'm like so ahead on videos, and this joint right here, this is like the fourth video I done did today, man. But I drop a vid a day, So listen, man, this right here, you see Buddy on the right. He was on Pop the Balloon. I wanted to react to him, but I felt like by the time I got to it, it was too late. Everybody that did their reaction, it was like a week later. I'm like, it's stale. I'm not going to touch it. But listen, he did an interview. And this is basically a follow up. So they asking him about the internet reactions and all of that stuff, why he did XYZ. I'm going to have a quick recap that I put together before this, and then we going to get straight to the interview. Put a like on the vid, please. Thank you. Let's get to it.
Mazi.
Mazi, mic up.
Mazi.
Okay, and Mazi, how old are you?
I'm 38.
And what do you do?
I own a trucking company and a car wash.
Okay, very cool. So what are some things you like to do for fun?
Travel, book private jets, yachts, and pop bottles in clubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some things you look for in a woman?
A woman that's not promiscuous. She believes in herself. She's assured of herself, and she don't have no insecurities.
Okay.
How you doing, bro?
What's
Welcome
going
in,
on? What's
Mazi.
going on? Life couldn't be better, man.
Right,
Talk
so
to me.
right. So Mazi, there's been a lot of talk about you. You was on episode 31. First of all, how was your experience on the show?
It was wonderful, man. Like I told y'all before, gratitude for having me. I got a lot of exposure. It was a good experience, 100%.
Hey, dude, take me. He decided to do this interview on a private jet with all his chains and jewelry on and drink champagne with sunglasses on inside. Like, it just takes me, bro. He's like a WWE character to me, man. Let's continue.
Nice. So what made you want to come on to Pop the Balloon or Find Love?
I wanted the experience. If I found somebody, I found somebody. But I wanted the experience.
So obviously the whole point of the show is to find love. So was you actually looking for love as well? Like that's the main thing about the show. The girls that you saw there, was you trying to match one of them?
To be honest, I wouldn't have matched with none of the girls that you had on the lineup.
Why is that?
I require a certain type of woman, certain type of standards, look, the whole nine, career, mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to deal with me, a guy like me.
So obviously we see you are in is that a jet? Is that a private jet that you're in?
Yeah.
So
Gonna take a trip to
let's
Vegas to
talk
go
about
sports
this.
bet.
So you took a trip to Vegas on a private jet.
I'm about to.
Or you're about to.
Okay.
Okay. So is this your lifestyle? You just like to just live life very high? Is this what you do?
Yeah, that's why I
every
say
day?
it
Finance
take us.
life.
Yeah, this is a regular day. This ain't nothing special. This a regular
It's a
day. I'm
regular
going to
day.
go sports bet in Vegas.
Okay.
And where are you from again? Where are you flying from where to Vegas?
Nowhere.
Bro, nobody asked about that champagne, man. Nobody asked, but he had to show us. He was drinking Moet, man. Cat is funny, man. I'm sorry, he funny to me, man.
The whole thing. I'm from Chicago, but I live in Houston.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going from Houston to Vegas.
hmm
How do you define success?
Man, happiness, financial freedom. You got God in your life, God first. And man, you just at peace, man. You enjoy, you got joy, you just happy.
So do you think that the way you act is the right way? Is how to act around people, like the way you're very flashy, of course. Even while speaking to us, you're drinking, you're doing all this stuff there. Like, do you think that is that's how people want to see you represent yourself?
Do you think that's how people want to see you represent yourself? Why? That's a haterish and weird question. And I think the dude, and this is me being honest because I watched a good chunk of this already. I think dude is not good at his job and he's not good at articulating himself, and he should probably prepare the questions, because if you gonna hate on somebody, at least find an
Thinking
angle to
about
come to
how
where
other
it makes sense,
people
because why
want
would
to see
somebody
you.
be
That is just
living?
a
Weird fucking frame. Now, just to help dude out, a better question would have been, do you think that the way you were acting is appropriate for the situation that you were in, or even for this interview? And even then, that's still like, what's inappropriate about it? What's immoral about it? What's wrong with it? What is ethically wrong with it, et cetera, et cetera. Now, personally, I wouldn't wear what dude is wearing or do what he doing, but I also have an understanding of what it looks like. He looks like, and this is just me being 100,000. This is me being honest. Dude has a rapper look, but not just a regular rapper look. It's like a criminal rapper. And guess what? Rappers and street niggas, they dress the same. So it's really like you can't tell the difference a lot of times. So if you look at a big drug dealer or a big scammer or a big rapper, that is the type of look and aesthetic that he has. But the thing about that is, these are just clothes. And even if he's being flashy, Ric Flair is flashy, fucking Grant Cardone is flashy, Andrew Tate is flat. Like, so it's all types of people from different demographics that are flashy. This dude got like a UK African accent. We've all heard about the Nigerian scammers. Now, I don't know if he's from Nigeria or anything like that, but listen, like, wherever he's from, I guarantee you there are people there who are loved that are flashy. So let's not act like, oh man, like just the environment you come from this is not acceptable or some shit like that. Even though I don't know where he comes from, but I don't want to dwell on that too much, because just as far as the question, it is very haterish. Even the other way that he worded it before. Do you think that the way that you act is the right way to act around people? Listen, just because, like, it's just a horrible question. Just because you wouldn't do it and I wouldn't do it, that don't mean that it's not something he should do, like, or shouldn't do. Like, it's nothing morally wrong with being flashy or anything like that. Just get better at your job. Write down a question, especially if you plan on hating. You should write down questions, because on the fly, seeing the head rub and stuff like that, you're not really good at that, man. Let's continue.
It's normal for me, man. You know, only certain people will understand that, especially somebody like myself that come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing was handed to me. I had to work hard for everything. So I mean, what's the point of having wealth and success if you don't show it?
That's easy. The point of having wealth and success, if you don't show it, is having the ultimate financial security, having stuff to pass down to your kids, being able to take care of your loved ones, etc., etc., etc. Those are more primary features of having wealth and success than showing it. And listen, I don't knock you for showing it, but like you asked, what's the purpose of it? Those are the actual purposes. Like, nobody that I can think of is getting wealth just to show it. You actually came from struggle, like you mentioned. I cut that part out. He said he came from like rats and roaches in Chicago and stuff like that, rags to riches. You wanted to be successful because you wanted to never live like that again. And you also wanted to save the people in your life. So that's the purpose. That's the point of wealth and success, not showing it. So to say, like, what is the point of it without showing it is kind of ridiculous, especially if you come from what you said you came from.
That doesn't make any sense.
leading with money is what you typically do.
Now, listen, English might not be his first language. That might be why he's having issues articulating some of the stuff that he's saying. And the reason I say that is because that's another horrible fucking statement. That's not even a question, it's an assumption. And he says typically, that's the word he used, typically. Leading with money is what you typically do. You just seen him on one fucking episode and you want to say what he typically does. Again, let me help you out. Leading with money is something that you did on a Pop the Balloon episode, so that would lead me to believe that you typically lead with money when it comes to women. Is that true? Something along those lines. But let's continue.
You know, it's like you want to show people that you have money, right? In a relationship, do you think that girls like that?
Well, this the thing. I don't lead with money.
That's cap.
You know what I'm saying? I can have anybody I want. I can get somebody that's a 10 and I can have on Nike Dry Fit. I don't have to have on Louis Vuitton and chains. I don't have to have this on my face card. Don't decline. This is what I like to do.
What he's doing, what he's doing is the same thing that women do when you ask them shit like, so did you wear this to the club to get men's attention? And like, no, when we don't think about men at all when we get dressed to go to the club. We wore barely any clothes for ourselves. We don't care about getting any attention from men. When we put this stuff on, we are not trying to get attention from men. It's all cap. That's what he's doing right now.
So you said, so you say you can have anyone that you want.
100%.
You
Without
said you can
no,
have anyone that you want.
without without me not showing no type of forms of money, no cars, no jets, no designer clothes, no nothing. I can have anybody I want. I'm him for real.
So how comes on the show you was basically telling the girls, you know, you're basically showing the girls that you have money, and none of them, you know, picked you. So what do you think that says when people are watching you? Like, do you not think that you look like you're leading with money?
I mean, that could be what it looked like, but I was just having fun. I didn't really want none of them girls anyway. They weren't my type. I was just being nice and showing respect.
Mm.
And that leads to like all the stuff going on, the little gnats, the little flies, the bloggers, they like gnats, man. You know what I'm saying? He leading with money. Man, I ain't leading with no money, man.
You ever been on a private jet before?
You know what I'm saying? I am money, but I ain't leading with it. I don't need to. It's not even necessary. I'll just be on myself and just having fun. That was it.
Listen, man, I know I'm reacting. I'm not invested enough to like process or try and believe or disbelieve anything he got going on. But when you see that level of cap, when you see that level of just like not owning up to what you did, like, yeah, I can't believe nothing that he has said up to this, bro. I don't believe nothing, man. That might not even be a real private jet, bro. He might be in a studio. Like, like, dog, like, I just don't believe nothing no more. Because if you could cap like that, the way he just did through that whole tangent, like, oh, man, come on, man.
So do you wear like the multiple chains and the rings and all that like pretty much everywhere you go?
Nah, not everywhere I go. I'm wearing it while I'm talking to y'all though. We just having a
Okay.
good time. I'm on the jet, about to go to Vegas, about to go win some
Okay.
money, sports betting. We living life. Life is good. And the only people that don't relate to that is people that's not living. If they not living, they gonna think, oh, he's showing off. Nah, that ain't what's going on. I'm just being myself. Only the real can relate to that though. I'm very humble. I'm very humble though.
So you count this as being humble?
I'm very humble.
That might be the first legit, good, spontaneous question dude asked.
Okay, so obviously people will say, right? People will say you are in a private jet right now because you're saying that, oh, you don't really wear the chains all the time. You just wear it when you want to wear it. So people are gonna say, well, you came on the show wearing the chains, so you're trying to show people something. And obviously you're on
Why
this
not?
podcast as well, wearing all this stuff, right? Okay, why
Yeah.
not? But obviously people will see and they say that, are you only flashing because you're on the screen?
Nah, this every day. This normal.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So I think let's kind of get into one of the moments that went viral on the show. So I think the most talked about one is when you were talking about your teeth. and you said, "Oh yeah, this 30K, it's a house."
Right.
And a lot of people are like, "30K house? Where could we
What
get that
house?
at? Let us
Where
know,
can you buy?
Mazi."
Where can you buy a house for 30K?
In a small foreign country, man. Or I could teach you how
Which
to get
country?
one in foreclosure. I could teach you how to get a
Okay.
house in foreclosure for 30,000. I do a lot.
So you have gotten one before for 30K.
Less than that. Less than that.
Okay.
Pay the taxes
Less
on it.
than that. Where was that?
In Houston.
Hmm.
Okay. What area?
We trying
This cat want the address.
to get in on business too,
Y'all
right?
trying to get one, y'all gotta
Right.
get in with
Teach
me, man.
You
everybody.
gotta
Come
help us
on.
out.
Teach
Y'all gotta get
everybody
in with me,
where you got
man.
that house from.
I got all the sauce, man. You know what I'm saying? I got all the sauce, man.
Because
What?
everybody's like, I checked Zillow, I checked this.
There's no
Nobody can
results.
find that 30K
they
house.
don't
There's
how
no
to they
results.
don't how to list. They don't how to list. I get government contracts, all type of stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're into real estate as well.
I'm into everything. Sports betting, Amazon, box trucks, drop shipping, everything.
And after he said he don't lead with money, after we seen him lead with money, yeah, I don't believe none of that. I ain't gonna lie. I don't believe none of it, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
What is your main source of income? Your main one, like if you was to pick one that you make the most money from.
That's hard to say, man. That's hard to say because
So you
one
don't have
month some
like
could be doing, one month some could be doing extremely well, and then next month is not. Then this one's going. Then it's just like I'm just making money, all over the place. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I just make money everywhere I can, and I'm successful. I win straight W's for real.
I watch a lot of serial entrepreneurs, or over the course of some years, I have. I've never heard any entrepreneur that I watch on YouTube say they don't know what their primary business is or their primary source of income. Bro, niggas know what the breadwinner is out of what they do. So again, I don't even gotta say it, bro. You know.
okay. So have you ever hit like a point where you didn't do so well? Everybody has bad
I mean,
days,
everybody
right?
everybody hits a point where they don't do well in life. It's not about when you fall. It's how is it gonna break you or make you. You know what I'm saying? So it just made me. I'm a made man. Ain't nobody give me anything.
Right. No, I mean, I get your hustle. I understand your hustle. Like obviously a lot of people have came from nowhere. You
Yeah.
know, just people just choose to live life differently. You know, some people are flashy, some people are not. For me, realistically, like all these materialistic things in this world, it's all things that was made in this world. You're not gonna take none of them, nothing like this, you're gonna take it, anywhere. My goal is to make it to heaven.
Mine as well. I'm a firm believer in God, Jesus Christ.
Okay, great.
Amen.
We all want to make it to heaven. So I think obviously the way people see you, I understand you work hard for your money, so you should be able to show that money, which is completely fine. It's just that when it's too flashy sometimes, it comes across as you're trying to show people that money can buy anything. Do you ever think that you want to get married one day?
Is that one of your
One
goals to
hundred
eventually
percent.
reach marriage?
Yeah, for the right
Okay, you want to
woman.
get married. So tell the people, what is your actual type? What is your type? Because obviously you require a certain type of girl. So
Right. We
what
gotta
type
know.
is
Well, who
this?
is this girl?
Oh man, God don't do me like that. How you want me to describe her?
Well, you said all those ladies we had there, none of them was really your type, and they were all different shapes,
Nah,
sizes, heights.
nah.
So what's your types?
Okay, so body wise, I like a woman that's healthy, right? I like a woman that
Okay.
got some hips, got some backside, got some, a lot going on in that field from the look wise. Face card is nice. She has a great personality. Um, She's not negative in any type of way. She's not insecure. See, I deal with a lot of women that be insecure because of how I live. So sometimes that can be a problem. And that's why I said insecurity, because like I could be doing everything right. You know, it's not tricking. I'm
Mhm.
not no trick or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a step for my woman gonna step for me. It's a two-way street. So it ain't no tricking and none of that stuff they try to put on the internet. That's not what's going on. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. So that's the type of woman that is attractive to me.
So let's go over that real quick. So boom, banging body, we get that out the way. Of course, of course, of course. He then says personality, that's a generic answer. He then says non-negative, that is just a generic answer as well, a positive woman. He then says insecure, she can't be insecure. And I understand why he's saying that, because he's Mr. Private Jet bottles in the club. Because guess what? There are a lot of whores in the club, and him being around a lot of whores, popping bottles when he has a faithful woman with him or at home, I know that it can give her angst, because all these whores are trying to get her rich man. Oh no. And that is going to, with each bottle, her insecurity heightens. So if he gets 3 bottles, like her insecurity level is through the roof. 3 bottles is a threshold. If he get a 4th bottle, usually chicks' insecurity just go off the Richter, and they got to get him out the club immediately, because it's too many bitches on him. Oh my goodness. And you got to be able to handle all the bitches it's going to be on Money Man. That's what you got to be able to handle. I said in a video that I did tonight, it's the finesse video. I don't know when it's going to drop. The rich and unemployed joint. When it comes to a lot of dudes, they don't really know what they want in a woman past 2 things. Number one, and I didn't say this in the other video, but 2 things. Number one, they don't want her to be problematic. And number two, they want her to be physically attractive. That's it. That's all they know. Personality is so generic and so general. It's like it's literally nothing. It's literally nothing. Most guys cannot articulate what they want in a woman, because most guys will be satisfied with, first off, the first thing that dudes look at is just the physical, and they just be so caught up on the physical. And if the physical ain't there, then it's whatever. We can't even make it work regardless how you act. But after even then, the physical, like some of these dudes, like a lot of dudes just simp out. And then he doing this capping, talking about he don't be triggered and stuff like that. All right, bro. Yeah, I believe you. But anyways, man, he been saying the whole episode that it's a specific type of girl. Them girls ain't his type, but it's a specific type of girl that he gotta have X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. And it's like, bruh, you just need a woman that's not insecure, basically, because everything else you said is basic as fuck. Like you just need a woman that's not insecure. That's it. A woman that will tolerate other chicks rubbing on your Gucci polo, when they trying to get by you in the club. Like, you just jiggle will accept that and not be mad. I think the bar is pretty low. I think the bar is pretty low. He didn't mention anything about submission. He didn't mention anything about her enhancing his life by bringing any value to the table. He didn't mention, what she got to have going on as far as anything monetary, or, because he said he not paying for nothing. So, like, if you're not paying for nothing, how is she going to live? Because you don't trick, right? You don't do nothing, but you got all the money. Like, so what is she going to, like, just bad, man. Like, the cats got to get it together and really fit. And listen, if you one of those people, you got to figure out what you want, bro. On a person, fuck all this shit that people be saying on the internet, even the shit that I be saying as far as like submission and all this shit. Fuck all that, man. Do you want a chick that like anime, bro? Do you want a chick that, is gonna make you a cake, a chick that can bake? Like, just figure that type of shit out. When we talk about personality, do you want a chick to laugh at your jokes, to share your sense of humor? Or do you just not care about a sense of humor at all? You don't care about that. You care more if she's intelligent and intellectual, and she studies a lot and she reads a lot. Like, what do you value as far as personality? If we gonna say person, like, what do you value? You gotta figure these things out. Go get a pen and pad or something, man.
You know what I'm saying? All the stuff on the show, I was just
Okay.
having fun, man. That's all that was.
So you said one of the things that comes up when you're talking to women is insecurities. What in your lifestyle would cause a woman to be insecure?
Uh, I don't know, man. You would have to ask the woman that.
You're around a
I
lot of
mean, I
ladies.
can.
Is that what it is?
It just tends to happen sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I've
Uh
been told I've been told different things that I can't speak on this show. You know what I'm saying? I talk to girls just on my level though.
Bro, this nigga don't know nothing about nothing he want, nor nothing he deal with. Don't know where the house he bought is in Houston. Like, bro, it's just crazy. It's crazy. This shit is crazy, bro. What we gonna do? I'm gonna give him a few more seconds, bro, and I'm done because I'm done with this shit, bro. This is crazy. Like, chicks be insecure, but you don't know how they insecure, but you can't say it on this YouTube shit.
But for some reason they still somewhere down the line start acting, you know, however you want to call it, crazy, insecure, whatever the definition would be. But
I can't even finish, bro. I can't even finish, bro. Crazy and insecure are not anything close to being synonyms. They're just not. Even then, insecurity doesn't always lead to craziness, man. It could lead to sorrow, all types of shit, bro. So listen, we gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna do an evaluation of two people, man. First off, the male interviewer, I already went in on him, so we don't gotta do too much. Like, listen, just write some questions. Work on coming off the cuff for certain stuff. I feel like he got better as the interview went on. But at the beginning, it just wasn't. It just, bro, you gotta learn how to land the plane. You gotta learn how to ask better questions and hit a specific target. It's a little too vague. Some of it don't make sense. You gotta learn that. But as far as Mazi, this is what I would say, man. You gotta go back to the drawing board. You gotta go back to the notepad and figure your character out more because it's too many inconsistencies, too many holes. You come on, you got a car wash and a trucking business or whatever, and that's cool. But now we get on here, you do real estate, you get a government list, you got Amazon, you don't know what your business is generating as far as the most. So one time it's this, one time it's this. You saying you don't trig, but at the same time, we seen you ask a chick if she wanted to get on a private jet. She turned that down. Then you asked her if you want to get on a yacht. You said you pop bottles and stuff like that. You got on all these chains sending a message, but again, you don't trick. But you need to get you need a certain caliber of girl. You need, chicks got to be qualified, et cetera, et cetera. But when it come time to say what qualities a chick gotta have, you start laughing, they start laughing. I wasn't laughing. I had the stale face. I'm like, no, like for real, because you've been saying like a certain caliber of chick, all this shit, and then we get to that moment, and it just don't work out. So I feel like if this is who you gonna be on the internet, if this is the character you gonna be, you gonna have to work on developing that character. What you may have to do, because you got so much money, this is what you need to do. Go get some writers. Go and get some, like, when you look at Batman, I could go deep on this, but Batman is such an old character. He's like close to 80 years old. There are really not too many holes in anything related to what you think Batman would do or say or anything like that. And it's to the point his character is so developed that a completely different writer could take the character and they know what to do with the character. Wait a minute, what do we know? Bruce Wayne is a serial bachelor ladies man. So if you just throw him in another, he's a serial bachelor lady. So it's like, bro, and I ain't gonna lie, this is another thing you got to work on. If you don't get them writers, you got to work on improvising. Cause you like, I don't even think that you good at capping. You are willing to cap, but you're not good at that. But what you need to do, just work on it, improvising to where it's like you can get some good bullshit off the cuff. Like, I don't know if you gotta do that with the babes you talking to or whatever it is, bro. But I'm just giving you info because I don't know. You might just stick to your trucking companies and all that shit. That I believe you have. You look at me. The Amazon companies and the government real estate that you got from the list that we can't get. All of that. Like you might want to stick to that. But in case you don't want to stick to that, and you want to be on this internet a little bit more, you want to build your brand, and figure that character out, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what you got going on. That could be another source of income for you doing YouTube. Hey, man, I had this video ready to go. It was mixed down. I had to mix it down again just because of what you were about to see. Dude is a fraud. Like I mentioned in the middle of the video, once I realized in the middle of the video that he was capping, but watch this.
So it's pretty obvious that Mazi's whole persona is that he has money. He likes to show his dollars. But fans and followers of the Pop the Balloon show have started to realize the same private jet that Mazi is on in this interview seems to be the same private jet that can be found on Peerspace. And for you all that don't know, Peerspace is where you could basically rent out a room. You could rent out for an event center. You could rent out for an hour. So clearly you can rent out this setup that looks like a private jet for $130 an hour, which is not a lot of money for somebody that's claiming that they have private jet money. So if you look closely, there's 2 lights in the background, there's a beige seat, there's a screen right behind his head, along with this window. Now let's see if this matches what is on Peerspace. At a first glance, that is exactly what this scene is right here on Peerspace. This looks like the same exact seat. Those look like the same exact lights, the same screen. So allegedly he rented out a private jet scenery just to look like he's on a private jet. But the question is, why?
Because he is a cat master. Shout out to Ty Buggy, because this just popped up in my feed. Not familiar with dude content at all. This is the first time I watched something from him, but it popped up in my feed, and yeah, we had to put this in a video, man, because I was right. I feel like there are 2 types of lies. Lies that are detrimental to you and lies that aren't. Lies that are detrimental to you are things like, oh man, I'm stuck in Dubai and I need $800 to get out of jail, man. Could you give me the $800? I really need it. If you fall for that lie, you're out of $800. Now, a lot that doesn't affect you is somebody saying, oh yeah, man, I used to slap box with Muhammad Ali in 1963. It's like, okay, so like that lie doesn't affect you. It's just a perception-based lie. And unless they're using that perception to build up something to get to one of those detrimental lies, it really doesn't hurt you. So with that being said, as far as this video, I came in not really even caring if dude was a fraud or not, really, not even really thinking about that. It didn't cross my mind because I didn't care. But once he started talking, I fucking knew. I knew. You could go, bro. If you didn't watch the whole video, man, go back, bro, because it hit a certain point where the cap was so strong. I was like, bro, listen, I don't believe nothing this cat said to this point. Because if he can cap like this, if he could say, I don't lead with money, when we seen you lead with money, and that you could have any woman you want, yet every woman there rejected you. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, you'll lie about anything. Cause you can't even keep it a real about what's in our face. So I don't believe you got all these businesses. I don't believe none of it. And that right there shows me that he is like, bruh, cap, your credibility is gone. I was gonna say, like, bruh, make a YouTube channel. Bruh, don't do none of that, bruh. It's over for you, dog. It's over for you.